dropping the ball really hard if she doesn't walk out of WrestleMania with the title. We got the pending Triple H versus Batista match at WrestleMania. Like I said, if Triple H stays on fire like he was on Monday Night Raw, he's going to absolutely beat down Batista, and I will love every second of it. Then we have Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. My pick is Seth Rollins. Whether it's true or not, rumor is that Brock Lesnar is actually leaving WWE after WrestleMania. So there's a very, very big possibility that Seth Rollins walks out of WrestleMania with the Universal title, which I will be absolutely stoked to see, because we would then get to see the Universal Championship every week on Raw. Like, I've almost forgot what the title looks like because we haven't seen it in so long. Josh Brandt says that Jim Ross has said that Charlotte is this generation's Hulk Hogan, backstage politic wise, and I agree, man. Hulk Hogan was the face of WWE or WWF all through the 80s and early part of the 90s. Like, if you go back and look at the WrestleMania posters, Hulk Hogan was like always on there. He was the guy. And Charlotte Flair, I'm not taking anything away from her at all. She is, I'll agree with that, she is this generation's Hogan. She is a phenomenal athlete. She's had some of the greatest women's matches of the last decade with Bayley, Sasha Banks, with Becky Lynch. They have taken the women's division to heights it's never been, and I have nothing but respect for Charlotte. But Becky Lynch is, like I said, red hot right now. She is more over than any other female or male in the WWE right now, for that matter. Becky Lynch is like the biggest thing in WWE right now. I can't think of anybody. Kofi Kingston is pretty hot right now, but even he doesn't have the pop that Becky Lynch is getting right now. So WWE would absolutely be dropping the ball if they don't strap Becky Lynch with the title at WrestleMania. If she drops it a month or two later, at least she still had her WrestleMania moment. And I don't think the fans would be as pissed if she dropped it a couple months later to Charlotte. But I think that she needs to win it. She has to win it at WrestleMania for her momentum and everything to keep rolling. But back to the Seth Rollins Brock Lesnar. I really hope it stays a one-on-one between the two. But something like deep down inside of me is telling me that WWE is going to end up turning this into a triple threat match as well, and finding a way to insert Roman Reigns into this match. We'll just have to wait and see if it does happen, but as of right now, that is my prediction. I'm pretty sure we're going to get Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania as well. My prediction, if that match does happen, is Kofi Kingston gets his WrestleMania moment, and he finally beats Daniel Bryan, finally gets his title. I think if he does pick it up, it's going to be a short run. At max, I think his title reign would be 3 to 4 months, and that's like max, before he ends up dropping it again. But still, I'd be super happy to see Kofi Kingston pick up the title at WrestleMania. The Undertaker has officially retired, so we know that he will not be at this year's WrestleMania. And honestly, I'm really glad. Undertaker is in my top 3 wrestlers of all time. But the last few years, just like watching his matches has just like made me super sad. He's not the same Undertaker. Age catches up with everybody. Like I was talking about with Kurt Angle earlier. He's not the same guy, and I think making him lose another match at WrestleMania would just tarnish his career even further. I was really pissed when Brock Lesnar beat him. Even more pissed when Roman Reigns beat him. That match against Roman Reigns was absolutely horrible. Like I said this on the Smart Marks podcast, I'll say it again. That match, just like the inner child in me got touched by his uncle. Like it was that bad. Just like absolutely ruined a childhood hero. So Undertaker retiring makes me really happy. I just think that was the best thing he could do. When we see John Cena at WrestleMania, a lot of people have been talking about that. I honestly can't say if he will be or not, how they would fit him in, and against who, I don't know. I can't see who would logically be a good fit if John Cena were to come back. Other than that, they really haven't made too many matches for WrestleMania. I know we're going to start getting a lot of it right now. They've announced some of the people for the WWE Hall of Fame. We got Degeneration X getting inducted to the Hall of Fame, the Honky Tonk Man, and Tori Wilson. All great picks. I think Tori Wilson should have waited a couple years. There's other female wrestlers that are more deserving of it. Josh Brandt said the Undertaker losing to Lesnar made sense. Who else could have done it? I agree. And I've heard that the Undertaker actually wanted Brock Lesnar to be the one to end the streak, and he says the Roman match was bad. And yeah, like I said, the inner child in me got touched. It was all bad. One of the matches I'm going to predict for this year's WrestleMania is going to be the Revival versus Aleister Black and Ricochet. I think Ricochet and Aleister Black will pick up the titles at WrestleMania. Because again, rumor has it that the bar is going to be released shortly after WrestleMania. So whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. I'll definitely do some more digging into it to find out. But I believe that they're going to end up dropping the titles at WrestleMania. If I had to pick someone for Samoa Joe to defend the title against, honestly, I could see that being who John Cena fights. If John Cena were to come back for WrestleMania, I could see him and Samoa Joe for the United States title. Josh Brandt said his inner child was diddled. Same here, brother. Same here. If anybody else has any predictions for WrestleMania, feel free to drop them into the chatty. Email me at I can't even talk right now. WWP_happy at hotmail.com. That's WWP as in the World Wrestling Podcast _happy at hotmail.com. Shoot me any of your WrestleMania predictions, who you think is going to win, what titles are going to be defended, any other topics you guys want to send in, feel free to email me. Those of you who have me on Facebook, feel free to message me. You can also message the World Wrestling Podcast Facebook page. Follow us on Facebook. Just type in the World Wrestling Podcast. You see our logo pop up. You can also follow me on Facebook. Type in Happy the Clown. You see my big smiley clown face. You can follow me on Instagram as well. Just type in the Happy and Schizo Show, and you'll pull up our Instagram page. And that's all I got for WrestleMania, honestly. We are on the road to WrestleMania. This is one of my favorite times of the year. It seems like the matches get a little more better. Just the excitement, everything building up to WrestleMania. This time of the year, always just like they step it up, and that's what I love. I can't wait for WrestleMania. Hopefully they don't drop the ball on it. Last year's WrestleMania was really good. I just really hope they don't fuck it up by putting Roman Reigns into that main event picture. I think Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar need to duke it out one-on-one. And hopefully at the end of the night, we have Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston as our new main champions going into the new wrestling year. After WrestleMania, we have the Superstar Shakeup. That's always a fun time because you never know who's going to end up on Raw, who's going to end up on SmackDown, who's going to get called up from NXT. So this time of the year is always super exciting. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Whether you are in the chatty or you're just listening in, big shout outs to all of you. Shout outs to my iHeartRadio listeners. I'm actually waiting to find out if the World Wrestling Podcast was accepted to the iTunes podcast. So keep your fingers crossed that is another platform that we land on. Like I said, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at HappyTheClown14. And I will be back probably next Sunday with your Raw results, SmackDown results, any breaking news between now and then. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. I am the Big Cali Kid, Sean B., and this was the World Wrestling Podcast. And big shout outs to my boy Flowwood once again for being the official music of the World Wrestling Podcast, episode 140.
To get knocked out again, stuck in the combat of this mortal plane, but you and I keep playing the same game. Fight! I'm on the break, don't think for a moment I won't come at my opponent with everything but the kitchen sink. More than just a fighter, I'm a flamethrowing igniter, torching tracks like melted wax, rip off my mask and spit fire. I'm an anomaly, effortless flow phenomenally. I'm a white-knighted novelty, I'm an oddity on an odyssey. I'll embody a prodigy, offer no apologies. Probably raise a progeny, well that shit's just biology. I'm a boss, next level. Undefeated, I'm on way to fight the devil. I'm a boss, next level. Undefeated, I'm on way to fight the devil. Flawless victory, but my scars prove differently. I've been burned to the third degree, but never let it stop me. I've suffered, I'll admit, but every kick made me strong as brick. Grew thick skin in spite of it. I get knocked down, but I won't quit. Don't give a shit how hard you hit. I'll rise back up like a general or a lyric. You can't stop me, even if you drop me, I'll rise from the dead like a zombie. I'm a boss, next level.